Hey, what's up, everybody? We are talking everything cool as ice. You've seen all the behind the scenes at this point, but we've saved the best for last. Vanilla Ice,
hey,
cool as ice.
You know it, man.
So tell us about the experience.
An amazing experience. I mean, I was only a kid, and I'm coming off the success of, To the Extreme.
Yep.
We were selling 1 million records a day, and it just was a phenomenon, Nobody could imagine it, including myself. Nobody planned this. It just took on a life of its own. And when they approached me, they said, "Hey, it's amazing what you're doing. You're breaking all records, by selling all these records." And I was just like, really? This is, every time I get a platinum plaque, a week would go by, I'd get another one. And I was just so amazed. And then I went in there to Charles Koppelman's office, and he goes, "How about we do a feature film called Cool as Ice?" I go, "A movie?" They were like, "Yes." I said, "Wow, that's awesome. What's it gonna be like?" And then they told me. Motorcycles, love them. Chasing girls, love it. I mean, all about the 90s, from, the way we dressed, the way we lived, our mannerisms, everything about it just reflects one of the greatest decades ever.
Awesome. So before Cool as Ice, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. This is your first starring role, right? What are you thinking at this time?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 will never be topped. Cool as Ice is an amazing film. I love it. It's its own thing. Takes on a life of its own. But it's the Ninja Turtles, man.
Yeah.
And the theme song, everything about it is one of the most amazing things ever. And then to follow up with Cool as Ice, just put a little bit of the icing on the cake. And
you kind of mentioned this. You were out there touring. You're making music. So you're an expert in one field, and then out of the blue, they're like, "Hey, we want you to do this totally new thing." What were your thoughts, and what was it like going from doing music to now you're doing films?
Well, I had to go to some acting classes. I had to figure out how to really do it, because it's not as easy as people think. And I wasn't playing. I'm playing a character. I'm not playing myself in the movie, but it was easy for me to adapt. And once I got rolling, I got a little bit of the hang of it. They allowed me to do a lot of my own things, I actually, off script and everything, came up with all the catchphrases in the movie. Drop that zero, get with the hero. Looky, looky, looky in Cat's Black Bookie. Hey, yo, Dick. Oh, it's Nick. Oh, yeah, Nick. Drop that zero. Yeah, hey, but there's so many, one-liners in there that they allowed them. I didn't think they'd use them. And I just said it, and then they'd go, "Okay, let's do the regular script now." Okay, I do the script, and you never know how they're gonna edit it. And then it came out, and all my stuff made it. And then when I saw the stunt guy jumping over the fence with the bike, well, I'm a professional motocrosser. I'm like, everybody in the world knows I jump higher than that. Let me see your bike. And they freaked out. They were like, "No way, you're the star of the film. If you crash, film is done. There's millions of dollars riding on this. No way." I said, "Let me see your bike, don't tell anybody." I put his helmet on, and they were filming, and they thought I was a stunt man. I came around and hit that jump, did a cross up, jumped over the fence, landed it, and then I pulled my helmet off. They're like, "No freaking way. Are you kidding me?"
That's awesome.
So I got to do all the stunts in the movie too.
So the film allegedly went through a lot of changes. Was it a hectic set, or what was the experience like?
It was an evolution. This experience was amazing, because I'm just like a teenager out there having a good time, And it was magical. It took on a life of its own, and it had a little fairy dust on it. So it was a sign of the times. All the clothes in the movie. My buddy who paints trains, he's from Brooklyn, and I got him in New York City when it was really rough, before Giuliani cleaned it up. And I pulled him out. I said, "Man, you're gonna have to come on the road with me." He goes, "What am I gonna do, man?" I said, You're gonna spray paint everything I got." So he spray painted all my backdrops, my trailers, my bus, and then he started painting my clothes. So if you look in the movie, I have an orange suit on. I gave the suit to him. I had no idea what he was gonna do, and he painted like half of it all graffiti, and then the other half like clean. And that's the sequence, I think, at the end of it, when I was dancing, and the lights go low, but he painted all the fancy pants and all the airbrush painting and stuff in there, and I still have those clothes.
That's awesome. And that's one of those things where it's like you look back and you see the movie and you see the style.
Yeah.
You were kind of setting the style for that time period. So what was that like?
I never thought about style. I never thought about anything. I always just thought about not being a trendsetter or doing anything like that, but being unique. Like me and my dance crew, we all had the same kind of weird haircut. We had these tails going, and some kind of high top fade and lines in our hair and stuff, and I would cut everybody's hair. So my dancers come in and go, yo, I need a trim. I said, okay, come here, I'm gonna cut you up, you know, because I loved it. But, and then the clothes and everything, we were like, yo, we can't move in these tight, you know, Gucci pants or whatever they had back in the day. They had leather on the fronts, and they had like Gerbots and Z Cavricis and everything. So the parachute pant was perfect for dancing, especially the type of dancing we were doing. So we started wearing those, and this is before MC Hammer and everything. So we didn't know anything. We were just our own little crew, dance crew, and we were just making things happen. And then we look back at it now and we're like, wow, look at all that fashion, man. It almost defines, or it does define a generation.
Definitely.
And it's amazing how, you know, I was embarrassed about it after a while, and then I look back at it now, I'm like, that was so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
No shame in the game.
And so before the Hammer pants, they were the ice pants.
They definitely were.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, we got them at a place called Oak Tree, and they just made these really loose flex fit, you know, pants, and the crotch hanged way down to here. I'm like, man, we could really we could do the splits in these, do the running man, do all our dance sequences. It was perfect.
That's awesome. So we also talked to Kristen Minter.
Yeah.
She said at the time this was her biggest role. Like, she was super pumped to get it. What was it like working with her? Did you guys have good chemistry?
Oh,
do
yeah.
you have memories of working with her, and what are those memories?
Oh yeah, Kristen was awesome. She brought out the best in me, and that's what good actresses or actors do. And she definitely kind of, because it's my first real time to do all this acting. She'd done some before, you know. So I kind of like fed off of her. But you know, if you're acting with someone who can't act, you're going to be looking ridiculous too. So she brought out the best of me, and she was incredible to work with.
And one of the things you talked about was the day in the desert, because you guys kind of had a moment where it wasn't so much the lines. You guys were just kind of shooting montage footage and just kind of freestyling as you do. What was that like? And she also talked about she was on the back of your bike, and out of nowhere you took off and you're going like 150 miles an hour. I mean, do you remember that day? And do you remember
I asked her, I said, are you okay? She goes, yeah, I want to go fast. I said, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I can open this thing up. And you know, they show us in the movie film, you know, with us. I was really doing probably 100, 160, 170 miles an hour across the desert. And it was a big GSX 1100. And I had that thing pinned, you know. I didn't want to scare her too bad on the back, but when she got off, I was just wide open until I almost blew that thing up.
Yeah, she did mention that you were kind of, while other filming was going on, you were kind of doing your own thing, like taking off on the bike and just kind of having a good time.
I mean, everybody else is doing other filming in other parts, and the bikes are all there, you know. So yeah, we would take off because it's not fun just sitting in a trailer all day.
Yeah.
So I went off riding some bikes and had some good time. It was a panic for every producer of the film and all the people that are supposed to protect the film and all the millions of dollars, and if I get hurt and all that. So everybody was kind of panicking because I'm kind of a loose guy, you know, but I'm safe. I ride the edge, but I know my edge, and I don't go over. So they allowed me to have that freedom after they loosened up a little bit, and then it made a better film because I got to do the stunts in the movie. I got to say a lot of my own stuff, so it brought out, you know, the best of me. It
sounds like you guys did have a lot of freedom, because she mentioned that you both picked your own names, or you changed the names. They were originally written as something else. Do you remember why you chose your name in the film?
No, I don't know. I'm Johnny.
Okay.
Johnny's like the cool dude always, you know. So
that's my name, so I totally relate to
Johnny
that.
Rocket.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to be Johnny something, you know. I always say when I'm finished with something, I say Johnny Dunman. You know, it's a good name. It's a cool name.
And another thing she mentioned along the same lines is kind of giving you guys control. Is she remembered that they said to you, okay, you need to write 3 songs, and you were like, what? 3 songs? What are you talking about? And then they were like, okay, we'll get somebody else to do it. And you're like, no, I can do it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. And I was filming, and we were like, oh, we have to leave. We're gonna go do this music. And I'm like, okay. So we went in the studio. I had nothing prepared. And we just came up with it all on the spot, which is fun because once you get vibing, you know, you get kind of trapped in a little moment there, and then you capture that little magic on tape, and that's what we did. And they let us do whatever we wanted to do, and it came out great.
Yeah. I
like the song the People's Choice.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Good song.
I mean, there's a lot of great songs.
I had just won the People's Choice Award too, so that's where I got the idea.
Awesome.
which I thought was fun. So I just came from there to there, and I said, let's do a song, People's Choice.
Yeah, and there's also Cool as Ice, which is a great song, and Get With It.
Get With It is a great song.
Brings me to my next question. Do you think you'll ever perform that live on stage again? Just to bring back the old school.
I would definitely do that.
Okay.
I would definitely do it if I can remember the lyrics. It wouldn't take me long.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to listen to it a few times.
Okay, all right.
Never say never.
Okay.
Look out.
Okay, so Cool as Ice, the song,
Get With It.
You performed with Naomi Campbell.
Yeah.
Did she have any influence on writing the song, or how did she get involved in the project?
We just asked her because she was, we wanted her in the opening sequences, and then we had also Bobby Brown in there, the girl Bobby Brown. So we kind of wanted her to incorporate in there. You know, she was a friend of mine, and we were hanging out, and she was just a cool girl, and she was like trying to get her music career going. But I think she could never really surpass that supermodel thing, you know, because she is known as a legend, the supermodel, you know. But it was great and fun working with her. She's a sweetheart, and she's a lot of fun. So she always has everybody laughing and smiling.
Was it actually her voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We had another girl sing in the beginning so that she could understand how to sing it, and then she would sing it. We just brought her in the studio, and she knocked it out. She could sing really good.
Cool. And this is a question that you kind of already answered, but it's a fan question. How fast did you go on your bike?
Oh, I had that thing pinned. I was up to 200 miles an hour.
Really?
Definitely. I mean, it's a GSX 1100. That thing will do it all day.
Aren't you ever worried that I'm going to wipe out and this is the end?
Never.
It's just, let's enjoy this moment.
Let's enjoy this moment, this adrenaline rush. I race dirt bikes, so to go straight fast is not that, and especially on the salt flats. How many times do you get to go on a salt flat and hold a car or a motorcycle wide open for 15 minutes, 20 minutes? I mean, I just held it. I was trying to blow it up. It held on. I mean, I was over 200 miles an hour easy.
That's cool. So there was a lot of legends in this film, like a lot of people that were in this film that have had amazing careers. One of them, for example, Michael Gross.
Yes.
Who, I mean, he worked with Michael J. Fox, so that's pretty huge right there. What was it like to work with him and so many big names? I mean, there's also Dodie Goodman, who was on Grease.
That's right.
And Grease 2.
Yeah.
You just had a great crew and cast and crew around you. What was that like?
Well, I needed that to bring out the best of me. It was my first time to do some serious acting like that, so everybody brought out the best of me, and I pick up quick, so I sit there and watched Michael Gross doing his lines. He was on the side of the house, and it was really funny because I was just walking by and listening to him yell doing his lines, and this is the part where he's yelling at the situation about me. And he's about his daughter, and this guy who don't know is in town. He came into town, and he's freaking out because his daughter's, you know, running off with him, and who knows. So he's freaking out, and I'm watching him do his lines, and I turned to him, and I'm like, wow, like it was so believable. And I looked at him, and he didn't break character, and he was literally mad at me. I'm like, hey man, cameras aren't rolling. You're doing a good job. But in the
method
scene
acting
that
going on there?
Yeah, in the scene that he was filming, he's mad at me. So I looked at him. He's like, "Don't fuck with me right now." And then after the scene was over, he came up and he smiled. He was great. He broke character then. But boy, when they're in it, they don't break it. They don't break it. They look right at you and they mean it. They feel it. That's the hard part about acting. It's an emotional side. Everybody thinks they can read lines and then really act it out. It's not as easy as people think. It's definitely difficult. And you have to memorize the lines and then make people believe it and make it feel real. And when you have people around you that do it so well, you kind of slide into the spot a little easier.
Kind of brings you up a notch.
Yeah.
When you look back at the film, what would you say is your favorite scene to shoot, or just the way it turned out? Just in general, what was your favorite scene of the film?
I like it when I go up and I knock on the door and I say, "Yo, ma'am." And then I say, "Is Kat here?" And then as I'm leaving, I remember a famous line. I go, "See you later, Dick." He goes, "Hey, it's Nick." And I go, "Oh yeah, Nick." And I said, "Yo, Kat, words of wisdom. Drop that zero and get with the hero." And I turn around and I get on the bike and I cruise off. It was so money.
I mean, drop that zero and get with the hero. That's etched in history.
Oh, it's a great line.
Did you come up with it on the spot, or was it something that you knew you were going to say?
No, I had no idea I was going to say it. It wasn't in the script or anything. I just said it right then and there, and then I went back and did the lines from the script, which they didn't use. So I don't even remember what the original lines were.
How many times have you heard the words "drop that zero and get with the hero" since then?
Oh my God, tons.
I mean, it's T-shirts, it's people talking about it, it's people probably saying it to you when they see you on the street.
Oh, I hear that all the time. You know, drop that zero, get with the hero. I hear go ninja, go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stop, collaborate, and listen. Yo, if there's a problem, I'll solve it. I mean, there's a lot of them. It's pretty cool.
So that ranks up there as one of the top catchphrases?
Oh, absolutely. One of the tops of all.
Okay.
Especially of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's quite a few in the movie.
Okay. So looking back, we got your favorite scene. What is your least favorite scene? Maybe something that you thought was going to turn out better than it did, or something when you just saw the script and you're like, I would never do this. Was there anything that turned out and you were like, I don't really like that part?
You know, I wasn't in the driver's seat, so I don't see negativity on things. I always look at that movie as a total positive, and I can't even think of anything negative about it, or at least, like, I don't even think in that direction. I just love the whole film. I think it was really great. I think the storyline in it was great. The greatest part about it is not just the one-liners and stuff, but in the story and in the way we were dressed, the way the bikes, my crew that was with me, and the way we would kind of connect, and we were all like this new age, badass 90s biker team, you know, and just cruising around almost like gypsies, you know, like nobody really knows where they came from, and then we show up in this small town, and we don't look like we belong there. We got these zigzag hairdo, crazy haircuts and clothes, you know, so it was it's a sign of the times, and it definitely reflects off one of the greatest decades ever, the 90s.
Yeah, and speaking of the kind of the crew that you had around you, that entourage, it kind of seems like the entourage that you maybe had around you in your real life at that time. Was it based around that, or was that in the script, or how did that come about? Yeah,
there's really no truth to the story behind this, the movie. It's just, but they took a little bit of like me and my dance crews, so they kind of added, you know, me and my biker crew. They knew I liked bikes, so they added the bikes. And then the whole story about me going to this town and meeting this girl and, you know, and all this was definitely, you know, out of anything that had happened in my ordinary life, but it was fun to adapt to it. It was a lot of fun. They did take some of the elements.
And speaking of legends that you worked with on this film, I'm going to butcher this name, but Janusz Kaminski, who was the DP of the film,
that's right,
went on to do some insanely high-quality stuff. Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan.
Yep.
Did you kind of see in the film, when the film came out, like, this is some pretty cool cinematography here, or did you know that he was going to be such a high-level
No, none of us have a crystal ball, so we didn't know, but a lot of people that were in this movie or had a part to do with this movie went on to do amazing, great things, and to come in and be able to say that I worked with them, like even when I did the movie That's My Boy with Adam Sandler, and all the movies with Happy Madison I did, the hairdressers, the makeup team, all the same from Cool as Ice. And Adam's been using them for 20-something years.
Wow.
So the whole Cool as Ice thing is still, all the people that worked on it are still very heavily saturated all over Hollywood. It's pretty cool.
In this fictional reality, where is Johnny Van Owen today?
He's always, hey, Johnny Van Owen is marinating. He's riding off into the sunset somewhere.
Okay.
That's him.
Is he still performing? Is he still with Kat?
He's the mystery. He's more mysterious than Prince.
Okay.
He's the one that you don't know where he came from, and he showed up in the small town, but you don't know where he went after that either.
Well, Kristen Minter in her interview had a great idea for the sequel.
Come on.
So she says that her character Kat has been married, and he's an alcoholic. So, you know, things are a little rocky. You come back, and you kind of take her, sweep her off her feet again, and you guys ride off into the sunset.
Cool. Could you imagine?
I mean, is this happening or what?
Cool as Ice 2.
Should we book this thing?
Cool as Ice 2. Look out. If you believe it, we can achieve it.
Is there going to be a sequel?
There might be. I never say never.
I mean, Dumb and Dumber 1, Dumb and Dumber 2, there was like 20-some years in between.
Come on.
You know?
I'd say let's make it happen.
All right. Fans out there, make sure you, I mean, this whole thing has been started by the fans. The fact that this Blu-ray is coming out.
Yeah.
So there's a huge following.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we can get the, you know, keep the momentum.
I'm very grateful, man. I love it. Keep it going and keep the buzz out there. And you know, the more we marinate together, the bigger the street team gets.
Yeah.
And the bigger that gets, the more the message gets heard. Let's do Cool as Ice 2, Part 2.
Boom. Which brings me to my next question. So over the years, this film has kind of continued to have a cult following, has picked up a cult following. There's more people kind of catching on, watching it, liking it. What does that mean to you, and what do you think about that cult following?
I think it's amazing. I mean, we can't pick our fans, they pick us, and I'm very honored. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for, you know, because there's a lot of people that weren't even born, and they're watching it, and they're picking up on it and liking it. You know, we can't pick our fans, they pick us, so it's really an honor to have them appreciate, you know, what I did a few years ago.
Yeah.
Quite a few. But it's amazing. It's an evolution, but I'm very appreciative of all the people that kind of honor that. Even Naib, Gloria Estefan's kid, he owns these boutique theaters, and he does Cool as Ice night like once a month.
Wow.
And it's packed every single time. He sends me videos and everything. One day I'm going to pop in on him.
Or maybe perform the songs from the soundtrack.
Maybe I'll jump up there and just stop the film halfway through, and
that would be
right
insane.
before drop that zero, get with the hero, and then booyah, and I show up. Sup?
I like that. So after all these years, what is your relationship with the film? What's your point of view? When you look back at it, what do you think?
I love it. When I look back at it, I think of the 90s, and I just remember what a great time the 90s was, you know? Like I say, we got our movies at Blockbuster. We had cassette decks. We didn't spend so much time on our flip phones. We had just regular TVs. We didn't have 9 million channels to look at, you know, and it was just a better time. We danced. The crazy clothes, because coming off the 80s, it was such a crazy impact. The 90s just kind of built on that, especially the early 90s. And then we had these crazy colors and neons, and it was more about smiles and having fun and not taking anything too serious, including yourself. So kind of miss those days.
On top of the other people that have had a lot of success in their career with film and TV, you've also continued to have a lot of success in that area. Tell us about your film and TV career right now.
Oh, I'm enjoying making movies with Adam Sandler. He's a great friend of mine, and you know, they say get in where you fit in. So he makes phone calls, I pick it up, and I get to leave my TV show for a little while. I go out and hang and film some shows. We did That's My Boy with him, where I played Uncle Vanny, and then I did Ridiculous Six, where I play Mark Twain.
Which is a classic, and I think at one point, maybe it still is, the most watched thing on Netflix. I don't know if that still stands, but that's a pretty big honor.
It's an honor, man.
And you have a big part.
Yeah.
And some great one-liners in that too.
Yeah, it's an amazing, man, and I just, you know, I appreciate everybody, and it's an amazing ride, and the wave continues, so I'm just surfing.
Do you have anything coming up? Any more work with Adam Sandler, or anything else we should know about?
Oh yeah, we got some stuff in the works right now.
Can you give us any teasers?
Let me just say, it's going to be probably filmed in the 70s, so I'm going to probably have some really ridiculous clothes on, maybe some bell bottoms, an afro, something, who knows.
Well, that might be the only style that Vanilla Ice has never worn, because back in the day, he was making the styles, so this is before he...
I still gonna make it. I'll make it like it was back then. Okay. Trust me, I'll put a twist on it.
Okay, so you've been in a lot of films and TV. What's your favorite film that you've been in?
I'll never be able to top the Ninja Turtles. I love Cool as Ice. That'll be number 2. But let me tell you, those Ninja Turtles, they hold I was a fan before I got the chance to do the movie, and then when I did the movie, I was just blown away. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I got the theme song, which is the anthem for the you know, Ninja Turtles. And Kevin Eastman is a big Vanilla Ice fan. He's the inventor of the Ninja Turtles. So I have a huge subculture following of Ninja Turtle fans, and gaining more every day. And when I go places out in public, you know, I hear Ice Ice Baby a lot, like, you know, but I hear just as much equal Go Ninja Go. It's amazing how big that has grown into.
What's going to last longer, the status of Vanilla Ice or the status of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
They're all the same. They're all in one. They're intertwined. So, you know, look how long the Ninja Turtles has lasted. Look how long I've been here. Who knows?
All right. So we've already talked about Cool as Ice 2. What else is on the horizon?
Cool as Ice 2. What else is on the horizon for me?
Yeah.
I'm filming 2 seasons back to back of the Vanilla Ice project right now. August 11th, that comes out. And that'll be over 26 episodes. and I'm doing that. Then I'm filming the movie. Then I might just get in the studio and make some music.
Ooh, I think we need that. It's been too long. Like the hardcore fans like myself.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're here for. We need that music.
Oh my God. Whew. Everybody wants me to make music again. I'm just like,
you're too busy.
It would be artificial if I just took time off and went and did a studio time, and just to do it, it would be not real, because it's kind of sacred to me. So the music has to be more like a diary. So I have to tap into those creative juices and those elements like a writer. He has to go up in the mountains, and hopefully he doesn't get writer's cramp, and he can come up with some cool stuff. So poetry to me is that way, and all my songs are pretty personal. So it needs to be sacred. So it needs to be there when I flip the light switch on.
All right. Well, for all the fans that have tuned in that maybe grew up with Cool as Ice, or some of the younger people that are just watching Cool as Ice for the first time ever, is there one last thing you wanna say before they hit play on Cool as Ice?
Hey guys, it's Vanilla Ice here. Enjoy the ride. Cool as Ice. Let it live on forever. Thank you.